Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for a very special Canadian Bowler show. We have the Canadian Nationals coming up for the first time in roughly 3 years in Canada. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Alex Scott. Alex is a longtime lawn bowler from Saskatchewan, my home province here. We've been all over the world together. We've bowled together. We're both going to nationals this year. Both very excited about nationals being back. So we figured we'd do some sort of a preview show to get everyone excited for nationals. So thanks for joining me, Alex.
You know it, buddy. Thanks for having me on. I am super jacked up for this tournament. It's been a long time coming.
So as I was saying, roughly 3 years since we've had a nationals here in Canada. 2019 was the last time we had a national tournament. It's also at the Burlington Lawn Bowling Club. Nationals are returning there, same spot. Uh, Pretty similar fields in a lot of respects. There's a lot of returning players that have essentially flip flopped spots, and probably something to really look forward to actually see the people back out there on the greens.
Yeah, it's going to be a reunion of sorts. There's a lot of teams that I'm unfamiliar with. I think the game has maybe changed slightly with some new people trying it out in the last year or two, but there's also a lot of renegades and wily vets and hot shot players out there too. So I'm excited, man. It's going to be good to catch up with some of the girls and guys and just kind of reunite and give it our best on the greens.
So I guess if we want to jump right into it, we can start with the men's pairs field, your field, Alex. So
Oh man, this is a pretty deep field. I'm a little terrified personally because I'm getting over a thumb injury because I'm a terribly old man who like just hurt his thumb on nothing a couple months ago. Along with cutting my index finger. So I'm really in tip top shape for this competitive event. But looking at the teams, it's stacked, man. But I'm gonna give you some hot takes on who I think will be in the medal rounds. And after it's all said and done, I think the hungriest team out in the men's pairs field is going to be Mr. Mason and Mr. Harendra Bartu. They are my 2022 gold medal prediction this year. You're probably wondering who they're going to take down, though. It's not me. Sorry, Canada. I'm not crowning myself in this event. But it's going to be Derek Mackay and Murray Benoist. I got a lot to say about Derek Mackay, Mike. He's been seemingly lighting it up in Ontario for the last 3 to 4 months. He already has a Canadian gold to his name. People don't talk about this guy much, but he's kind of just winning every relevant tournament in Ontario this summer. So he's going to make a run, but he's going to run into some renegades and Tim and Haren who are looking to get some vengeance from their 2013 debacle. That's a joke, Tim and Haren. So yeah, that's my gold medal pick. You wanna hear the bronze?
I certainly do.
Well, I had to kind of go a little more creative on this bronze due to some recent developments in this men's pairs field. So I am going to toss off the bronze medal to Beezer and Augie, the Renegades from Nova Scotia. They have been there. They have done that for years and years and years. And you know what? I think they're going to be a little hungrier than people are going to anticipate in them. They're going to take a bite off of some of these young bucks trying to dethrone them. But this ain't the first time for the Bees and Ogs. So they are going to get the podium finish and a bronze medal for Nova Scotia. And they're going to clip Roy Reege and Keith Johnson, who are a plucky rink themselves. And I think it's going to be a deep competitive field, and I'm probably going to be terribly wrong on all of my takes. But that's my men's pairs predictions.
Wonderful. No, I can't disagree with many of your picks there. I've played Derek Mackay a few times myself in Ontario. I've also played him in Arizona. Definitely impressed with his bowling, and as you kind of pointed out, he's essentially won. He won the fours in 2019 in Burlington, so switched fields. But then in their Ontario provincials, I believe his team was what it would have been one game out of making it in the fours again. So
Right.
very impressive results when you consider how difficult it is to get out of Ontario. So I would agree that those two would be kind of my two that I would definitely be highlighting above the others. And then I could see you guys definitely making a run too, because your partner Lowe just competed at the Canadian Junior Championships and was undefeated until the gold medal game, where he ended up losing a close one there. So I think you guys could be a potential threat as well. Alex Scott back in 2008 took a young 16-year-old to the Canadian Championships, and they lost in the bronze medal game. So I'm calling it now that Al Scott's going to take a young 16-year-old to the Canadian Championships, and they're going to lose in the bronze medal game.
Fourth again? No.
Yeah, me and you had that that terrible situation. So if anyone doesn't know, 2008, Alex and me went to the Canadian Championships together, and we lost in the bronze medal game. I was 16 years old at that point, so Al's gonna do that again. He's just gonna relive another terrible nightmare. Him and Lowe are gonna have a great week, and you're gonna lose a tough game in the bronze medal match. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm excited to roll. I think I can play with. We can play with any of them. I wasn't ready to tout myself and be that guy who picks himself to be in the gold and then he finishes seventh. You know.
Fair enough.
Sleeper pick for the men's pairs. It's got to be Paul Lee and Earl Luck. I think they're going to be a hard out. I don't know enough about their dynamics just yet, but sleeper pick. Watch out for that team as well.
Fair enough. I like that. This point, I guess we can pivot and move on to maybe the ladies' pairs. So, women's pairs, we've got again another nice field. I'm looking forward to seeing what you think about that.
Oh man, looking at this women's pairs field, it might be more stacked than both men's events, to be honest. You have some sharpshooters from BC. You have a stacked Alberta team with Joanna and Jen. Jen coming home from Birmingham just this past week, so she's going to be hungry again, and Joanna's going to be out there kind of proving the doubters wrong a little bit too, because I don't think she quite enjoyed that non-selection herself. So she's going to be hungry, man. They're going to be out there, and how can you not include Crystal Shepherd in the mix as well, who seemingly just shows up out of the blue every few years, roars across the green, and wins another gold medal just to add to her fat stack of medals from the past. So this is a tough one. I had to kind of go back and forth on the women's pairs, but my gold medal winning team is going to be from British Columbia, Rainbow Lung, Jenny Sue. And they are going to take out the Renegade, Crystal Shepherd, and Elizabeth Cormack in a nail-biting gold medal game. That's my hot take for the big dance. Maybe not hot, maybe accurate. Any thoughts on that gold and silver prediction?
Well, I can't really fault. You highlighted essentially three of the teams there in that field. I would agree with those. The one that I think is going to kind of fall under the radar, or I guess as you like to call the Renegades, is I think that Manitoba team of Betty Van Wallingham and Elaine Jones. I think they're going to be a tough team to deal with. They've been there, done that, as I guess you said with Beezer and Augie. But I think they're both incredibly high level bowlers, and they've been there so many times that I think they're actually going to be a really tough rink to deal with. So I personally see them as being one of the favorites in that field too.
Yeah, man. I looked at Elaine Jones and Betty too. it's a hard field to predict. They could just make it all the way. And because I'm not choosing Elaine, she'll probably just kick me in the ankles and win her 80 millionth gold anyway. Because that's what Elaine does. She's a stone cold killer. But I'm sticking with my guns here. Rainbow Long, Jenny Sue Gold, Crystal Shepherd, Elizabeth Cormack Silver, and the bronze medal is going to be Joanna Cooper and Jen McDonald. And this might be a contentious prediction. I think people might be quick to just anoint Joanna and Jen due to their past national team experiences, and they're kind of the trendy up-and-comers. But I'm thinking they're going to be tied for second after round robin, maybe get off to a bit of a sluggish start, finish a scorching finish to the tournament, and not quite make it in the tie-breaking formats. So, yeah, Joanna and Jen, it wouldn't surprise me if they just wrecked everyone and won the gold, but they're going to clip the Aaron Roth and Michelle Whitehead in the bronze medal game. I'm really excited to see Aaron and Michelle out again. They're always a pretty energetic presence out there, and they got a silver to their name already, so I think they'll be a sneaky force themselves too. Awesome. But inevitably, Elaine Jones is probably just going to come in there and wreck all of my picks, so be it.
Perfect. So then if we're done with the pairs there, I guess we should move on to the men's fours, my field, the field that I am playing in. I'm very excited to be back. What are your thoughts on the men's fours, Al?
Oh man, the men's fours is such a good game. I think it's the fiercest competition always because fours is complicated, it's strategical. You're relying on 3 other dudes instead of 1 or just yourself. Man, fours is going to be a dog fight, especially if this heat continues in Burlington. Like, you guys are going to be wrecked, especially on that 3-gamer that you have to play late in the event. So this is a tough prediction, but I could easily just say, like, you guys are going to slaughter the field and get back to your business, but I'm not going there. That's too easy to anoint my friends and hot bowling friends champions. So no offense. I'd love to hear your rebuttal once I'm done. But my gold medal men's fours pick, it's going to be the trailblazer who's been hot all summer, Vince Donahue. Hot take. After running through the provincial fours earlier this summer, after winning, what was that Phoenix event or something like that, he's been blazing hot, and I think Ontario in their home province, they're going to be a tough out. So I think they're going to bring the heat, and Patty Bird, John McDonald, Francis, and Mikey are going to fall just short of that gold medal, and they're going to take home the silver. How do you feel about that? Are you upset? Do you want to talk to me still?
I don't know if I can. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Both teams are definitely amongst the favorites of the field that I would have listed there for you. As Alberta, I see as a very strong team. Pat Bird's team's always very strong. Again, Vince has had a great summer. He's also got a lot of very solid bowlers on his team, so I see them being a very solid team. It's going to be hard to beat. If I were to highlight other teams in the field, I think Kerry Mans' team out of BC is going to be my dark horse. Kerry's been an incredibly solid bowler for well over a decade here, and his team's kind of always been kind of mid-table when they've gone to nationals, and I feel like they've made a couple changes to improve his most recent team that he would have played with before that. So I think that team is kind of my dark horse.
Yeah.
I'd maybe throw them in the same pile as the Nova Scotia ranks. So Braden Campbell with Liam Campbell, John Seitman, Ray McDonald. I think they're going to be a a tough team to beat as well because they've been playing together. I think they qualified even for next year's nationals together, so it's a team that's played a lot together. So I think that can't be understated, that when you have a team that plays together a lot, they're going to be successful as well. So I see that Nova Scotia rink being pretty successful as well. My team recently had a replacement player jumping in, so I'm not going to throw myself in the top four. I think our team might have a little bit of a growing experience. We had to sub out my father, who recently injured his knee, for a very capable Brian McMillan from Saskatchewan, who was at the last nationals. But again, I think our team just might have a little bit of growing pains per se, or not so much familiarity playing with each other, so we might not be in that top four. But it's a very competitive field. I'm excited to see that field. And then I guess if we're highlighting the other players in the field, I think Eric's team from Ontario also cannot be slept on either. So there's really a group of 6-7 teams that could realistically be in those medal rounds, I'm seeing at this point.
Yeah, I totally agree. But you guys are winners, so you're still going to make that podium. I have you making a bronze. And you're going to be playing Eric Gallipo, Foxall, Rob Gallipo, and David Llewellyn. It's going to be a dynamite match. I'm excited to meet Eric. I've never actually met the guy before, and there's a lot of hype coming from him these past couple of years. So he's going to make some noise, and David's been there and done that before too. So I agree with you, man. It's a dogfight. Wishing you the best.
Thank you. I'm going to need all the luck I can get. I guess if we're moving on, we got our last field to go over there. So we got the women's fours. Again, I think it's shaped up to be another really interesting field.
Yeah, it is. I initially made all of my predictions last time we spoke and then wiped them all clean as of like this afternoon. I have no idea what to do in this tournament, but I'm comfortable with my choices, and I am ready to crown your gold medal champions from BCB: Vivian Chan, Lorraine Choi, Fanny Young, and Jody Yam. I only know Vivian and Lorraine from past Bulls events, but I think they're going to bring the pain in this event and just be that quiet, collected unit that's going to quietly smoke everyone until they're just casually accepting that gold medal. And sort of piggybacking off of you a little bit, that Jan Robinson rink from Alberta, that's going to be a plucky team. And you're right, they're going to be a really hard out, and I think they're going to grind their way through the round robin and lose a bit of a tight one to Team BC in the gold medal final.
If we're prefacing our previous conversation, that was my pick. So if anyone's wondering what Mike's pick was, I think that Alberta team is a team to reckon with. They've secretly, kind of under the weather or under the table there, won lots of medals in about the last decade here, a few of them gold. And so I think that team's going to be incredibly difficult to deal with.
Yeah, they are. And my bronze medal pick is kind of off the cuff. I'm not familiar with either of these Ontario women's fours teams, but winning out of Ontario is hard. They're in their home province. They're probably used to a bit quicker of a pace anyway. So I'm actually giving the bronze to Ontario B with Cindy Higgins, Lynn Cranch, Betty Robitaille, and Sarah O'Shea. They're going to make a podium, and they're going to clip the Fosters, and the Bees are in another tight battle where Nova Scotia just misses out on that podium finish again. Do you have any other sleepers that you might consider in this women's fours field, though? I had a bit of trouble with it.
I wouldn't even call them a sleeper. I think BCA is obviously a team you can't count out because that team's been in nationals many times, won many medals. Slightly different iteration than we've probably seen over the last decade, even. But again, you can't really count them out. I would call them your renegades of the field, the team that could definitely just run through everybody if they're bowling the right way. And then there's really just kind of the under the table. This field I feel has a few like dark horses. There's teams that we've never seen before. I believe Manitoba's got a few rookies on their team. Could be an interesting team to maybe surprise some people. Same with either of those Ontario teams. I think they could potentially bowl really well in their home province. So I'd see either of the Ontario teams, that Manitoba team, or even the BCA team as being pretty contendable as well.
Yeah, you're right. Like you said, Mary Wright and Matthew Bell, Colleen, those are some veterans right there, and they've been there, they've done that, they've won before. And I hope, I don't know Colleen, but I do know the other three quite well, with Marianne and Bell, and I hope none of them listen to this discussion we're having, because I feel like all three of them will corner me and kick my ass. So, and deservedly so, because now they're probably just going to listen to this and be like, huh, Mr. Scott thinks he just knows stuff, huh? And then they're going to go out and win the whole tournament, because that's how things work when I try and predict things. They just go haywire.
I don't really see there being a weak team in that women's fours field, so I see it being a massive dogfight where a lot of teams are going to beat each other.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird ones where I think that we're going to see just a weird pile of teams probably in like that 3-4 spot, a bunch of teams tied for third, fourth, and maybe a team ahead of everyone else, and then a second place team that maybe just barely comes out. That's kind of my prediction. It's going to be a giant log jam in the middle where a bunch of teams are beating each other. That's sort of how I see this division.
Yep, I think I would agree with that. Like you said, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, even Pauline Wong, like, she's been there, done that for a long time. And you never know if her and those Hattons can make some noise, or like you said, Manitoba, they could be a sleeper pick too, but there's some unpredictability there that I want to anoint, but if I did, I'd be doing it blind. So it's more of a wait and see for that province right now.
Fair enough. So if I'm going to put you on the spot, me and you did not previously discuss going over this. Who is going to win the Cy English and the Lady Alexander Awards? So if you don't know what that is, the Cy English is the award given to the best male team, and the Lady Alexander is given to the best female team. So that'd be pairs fours from the same province, same team. So Al, I'm going to put you right on the spot. Who is going to win the Cy English for the men?
I'm going to give it to Ontario A. Derek Mackay, Murray, and Vince Donahue and company. I think they're going to bring home a gold and a silver, and that should be enough on their home court to celebrate accordingly and take it home.
Fair enough. If I'm going to rebuttal you, I'm going with BCA. I'm going to reasonably think that Tim and Hiran are going to be up there. And then I'm also going to, as I've already predicted, I think Kerry Mans' team is going to do fairly well as well. So I think the combo of those two, it's going to have them just edging out some of those other teams that are going to kind of be more mid-table.
It's a good take. What are you thinking for the Lady Alexander?
Lady Alexander, for me, it's... I think I'm going to go with like probabilities per se. I think both of the Alberta teams are going to be in the medal round by my predictions. So I would see that pairs team doing well, at least making a bronze medal game type of thing, and I would see that fours team doing the same. So I'm going to see them being my pick for the Lady Alexanders, Alberta A.
Alberta A. I had Alberta A, but I'm going to pivot and probably hedge a little bit as well and say that British Columbia A are going to win the Lady Alexander. I'm all in on Rainbow Long and Jenny Sue, and even though I did not pick Mary Wright and company for the podium, it would not shock me if they made the podium and perhaps even the gold medal game themselves. So I debated Alberta, but because you've already said it, I'll go with BCA instead. Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a fight. I got to put you on the spot once. Who out of the men's fours teams are you most excited to play against this coming week?
Excited to play against the men's fours field.
Who are you jacked up to play the most after assessing this rugged mess?
I'm excited to play Team Nova Scotia, Braden Campbell, Liam Campbell, John Seitman. That team I'm very excited to play. They're a young group, kind of similar to us. Played against, roommated with Braden all through my junior U25 days. Played against Seitman as well. Only met Liam a couple times because he's a fair bit younger than me. But I'm excited to play that game. Just nice to play sort of the dudes in around your age, kind of play the same way as you. So it'll be an exciting game, I think. Who are you excited to play against, Al?
Campbell, hey? You surprised me with that pick, but I think you're right. It'll be an energetic game for sure, and probably quite loud. With the exception of Ray, he won't say a single word, but he'll just watch it all play out. Kind of like Machri.
Exactly. We need the two of them
there. This is a toss-up for me. I'm intrigued by the mystery of Derek Mackay and Murray. I've never seen them play before, and I know that they're going to be a tough out, but I gotta go with Tim and Heren. Last time I played those two was at 2013 Nationals in Vancouver with your brother Jonathan, and we beat them quite handily, but they were also a little bit out of sorts that week, just because Tim was pretty much like not single-handedly, but running a lot of the Canadian championships, if you know what I mean. So I think they're going to be a little bit more laser-focused this time around, and hungry to prove that they're still two of the top bowlers in the country. They just they got to get through old man Scotty and trending low Wong first. That'd be a romantic gold medal pick, actually, but we'll see.
The one thing I want to say is anybody who feels slighted by our picks or that you may have been glanced upon, use that as motivation, please. If Alex and me have made a terrible prediction, please make sure we know about it. We would love to hear any sort of dialogue, any sort of feedback you have. If you want to, I think Alex has mentioned multiple times he's going to get kicked in the ankles, he's going to get cornered, he's going to get slaughtered. I'd love to see it. I'll personally laugh and enjoy every moment that Al gets cornered or kicked in the ankles by people. So please come, tell us what you think about our content here. We love making things. We're trying to do things different, sort of have some different pomp and circumstance, I guess, behind the Nationals. Feel like it's something we need to do and sort of have the media behind it. So we're doing what we can here from Canadian Bowler, and Al was more than happy to jump in with me and try something different, try something new, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, because we've talked about it. We had a previous conversation, sort of prepared for this, and we went back and forth with one another, so it's been fun for us to make it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to this for multiple years to come, and maybe more content from Scotty and Mike.
Let's hear it, man. I want to hear what people have to say. We seem so tight-lipped in this country, and maybe that's a geographical challenge, maybe that's a demographical challenge, not having social media with a lot of people. But at the end of the day, I think we just need to kind of create some content, make bowls a little bit more interesting than just a random event that we're all going to. Let's hype it up. Let's have some opinions, and don't be afraid to say what's on your mind, because they're just opinions, and a lot of it's probably going to be not coming true anyway. And if it does, then good on us. We did our homework. But yeah, you're right, Mike. We gotta get some things going around here, and I think this is a great start to a post-COVID world when we're finally out there on the greens again.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to the fun that you're gonna have and we're gonna all have next week bowling in that hot Ontario sun. It's great to go out, enjoy your life. Just really enjoying bowls. So it's gonna be terrific to do that once again. Thanks for joining me, Scotty. I appreciate it immensely. And with that, may all your bowls be touchers.